Northern Static Series.
Northern Static Series
On CFUR 88.7 FM.
Welcome to another episode of the Northern Static Series on CFUR 88.7 FM. Today we are broadcasting from the traditional unceded territory of the Lheidli First Nation. This project is made possible by the Community Radio Fund of Canada. Today on our Northern Static Series is a well-known local musician who is a beloved asset to our Prince George music scene, being part of different projects over the years, currently singing and playing acoustic guitar in Patchwork, Reckless Burning, and her own solo project, touring, playing shows and festivals around BC. Genevieve Jaide is an important part of the community, working alongside Cold Snap Music Festival, teaching music lessons, and having 2 albums and an EP released under her name. Genevieve is a bright light in our community and one of the most passionate, hardworking people I know. Seeing Genevieve perform has been an inspiration to me growing up. Whether she is on stage or working behind the scenes, Genevieve brings warmth, positivity, and a comforting energy everywhere she goes. We are incredibly lucky to have you here with us today. Welcome, and thank you for being here for the Northern Static Series.
Oh, thank you so much, Grace. That was such a nice introduction.
You're so welcome.
That's so nice.
You're most welcome, Genevieve. How are you today?
I'm really good. Yeah, I'm really good. Happy to be here with you. How are you?
I'm good. I am
Good.
glad to hear you're excited.
Yeah, of course.
So let's start with something fun. If your life had a soundtrack right now, what would it be?
Oh, right now, it's funny because I feel like my life always has a soundtrack. That's been something that ever since I was a kid, like I'd be running around singing, making up my own songs to mundane tasks around the house. So I feel like my life is always a soundtrack. I often go back to like ABBA songs. They're constantly playing in my mind, which is funny because I don't ever really remember like listening to ABBA, but they're just one of those bands that is very, it sticks in your head. So I feel like it would have ridiculous lyrics but really like catchy ABBA-esque vibes. That would be the soundtrack. If I could write something to go along with my life right now, I'd be like, yeah, narrating all of the things that I'm doing during my day.
That's awesome. It suits you. It's like fun, upbeat.
Yeah, totally.
I love it. So music is a big part of your life and who you are. And I'm curious if it was always this way, or was there a time frame in your life when you realized it was more than just something you love, but part of who you are?
Yeah, I would say music, my mom always said when I was little, like I was basically singing before I was talking. It's always been such a huge part of my life. I've loved music forever. It's always been like the main thing that I've been gravitated towards. I didn't really ever see it as a career or something that I would maybe make money at one day, but I was always striving towards that. But it took a particular moment in my life. I remember I was listening to Bon Iver when I was a teenager, and that was the first time where I was like, wow, there's this entire different genre of music out there that I hadn't been exposed to yet that really kind of set the stage for me moving forward and wanting to take music a little bit more seriously. But yeah, I would say it's always been a huge part of my life. I can't imagine my life without it. I love it. Yeah.
And did you grow up in a musical household?
Not really. No. My parents have always appreciated music. My dad more on like the country side, and my mom more on like the rock side of the genre spectrum, I guess. They're both very different musical influences. And I think because my dad always listened to country while he was like working on things outside, and always had the country station on in his truck when we'd be driving around, I naturally was like, no, I don't want anything to do with country at all, which is funny because I love country now. But so they were big music listeners, but no one played music in my family. I was kind of just the only one that started taking an interest in music. Same with my brothers. Like they weren't really, they weren't musicians. They aren't musicians. I think they like maybe dabbled in guitar slightly, but not a particularly musical family. But I am kind of a weirdo. I don't really fit in much in that sense. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I know most musician friends that I have, like they've grown up in a musical family, but I have a few, like my friend Brock Patch, same thing. He's kind of like an anomaly in his family. It's like the only one who, plays music, and we're out there.
I can just picture little Genevieve making her own path.
Oh, totally. I was always running around dancing and singing up a storm.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
What made you pick up a guitar?
It took a long time to get to that point. I tried taking lessons when I was, I think like 14 or 15. And my guitar teacher at the time, Mark Rowland was his name. He found out I could sing, and that was the end of guitar lessons. He's like, well, hey, you can sing. Do you want to be a part of these? They had like some student bands at B&B Music back in the day. And that was kind of like my first little intro into being in a band setting. And they found out I could sing, and they're like, you don't need to play guitar. It's fine. So it took me a long time to actually sit down and learn the skills. And I tried taking lessons again from Jeremy Stewart through Don Boudreau Music. And same thing, like I tried, it just didn't click with me. It took me until I was 19 to sit down and really like kind of just start teaching myself, and I've kind of gone from there. Yeah.
And what do you think happened when you were 19 that made you want to stick with it?
Yeah, I think it was just time for me to start writing songs. And that's the only reason. And also I had some advice from someone, I can't remember exactly who said this, but probably multiple people. I remember them saying like, you can't rely on other people to show up for gigs. If you want to become a musician and you want to start performing at places, you can't rely on other people to play the guitar or the piano for you. Like you have to do that yourself. And it was kind of, I think it stuck with me, that piece of advice, because it's true. Like you can only really, it's kind of like a pessimistic way of looking at things. You can rely on other people. There are good people, of course, but it's sure like it makes it a lot more concrete when you can just do it yourself. So that was part of the, I guess, inspiration for me was like, okay, I gotta learn how to do this myself if I want to actually move forward with this path. And songwriting as well, just having that instrument to write your music to. It made sense for me for that instrument to be guitar.
Absolutely. So going back to the ABBA, talking about ABBA, I thought it was so funny that you said that, because I recently learned that you were also part of an ABBA cover band.
Yeah, for like a brief moment during COVID. Yeah, it was awesome.
I love that you did that. I think that's so awesome.
Honestly, it was so much fun. It was like such a light in such a dark place. Us being able to, and like, everyone knows a handful of ABBA songs, but do you really know the whole discography? No, like there's so many songs and they're so good. I love it. They're so complicated, like really interesting arrangements and harmonies. Yeah, and it's funny. I wouldn't like say I'm like an ABBA fan or anything, but I don't know. It's just one of those bands that like I'm a fan, but I'm not like a super fan. Mm-hmm. But yeah. Great band.
Yeah, they have like Their music is very intricate, I feel. There's a lot of little parts in there, which is, it must be a lot of fun to play as a band. Can you walk me through some of the other duos and bands that you've been involved in?
Yeah, for sure. At the beginning of my 20s, when I got home from music school, I was in music school for a little while, and when I came home and I was getting ready to get back into music, I was working at the Sound Factory at the time, and my friend Brock came in, and we had been friends like in high school, Brock Pechieski, and he was like, hey, I didn't know like that you were back in town, yada, yada. So we were talking about music, and I didn't really know that he was still into music at that time. And that's kind of what bonded us back in high school when we had met. So we started playing together, and we started first as a trio with his roommate, Nate. And we performed a few gigs around town. I don't think we really had a band name at that point, but then it kind of transitioned into just being Brock and me as a duo called Daisy and the Fisherman. And that was a huge like the first kind of jump into playing a lot of shows. Well, I guess before that, actually, rewinding a little bit, in music school, I had a indie rock band called Firstborn Unicorn. That was a lot of fun. We did Battle of the Bands. I don't think we won, but anyway, so that was a ton of fun. I was living out my like yeahs metric dream. I've always wanted to be in a band like that, and check, did it. It was super fun. But yeah, Brock and me, we started showing each other our own original songs. We had a bunch of covers as well. We played at the restaurant Shiraz a lot at the time. Yeah, so Daisy and the Fisherman was kind of the first like duo getting into like playing original music. And then we added in Nick Tyndale, and Nick and I played together for years with Brock, but then also just the two of us. And then Brock came back in again a few years later. Nick and I, with our duo, it was under my name, Genevieve Jaide, and it was mostly just my original music. And Nick played the cajon and the djembe drum. And yeah, it was a fun acoustic duo for a long time. And then we decided to make it into a full band project. And I've had many different artists kind of contribute to that project over the years. We've been in lots of different variations. The constant being me. But Brock has been there through most of it as well. Yeah. And I've also been a part of different bands. Like we've got Patchwork, which is Brock and our friend Mike Watson, Aiden, Justin. Yeah. So there's been Patchwork, which is kind of like an indie folk group. Lots of fun, dancey music. I was also a part of the band Reckless Burning over the last couple of years. I've contributed with Amy Blanding's solo project, Melissa Walker's Check Down Charlie. Yeah, a few others maybe, but those are the ones that are on my mind right now. Yeah.
You're doing so much. That's awesome, though. It's exciting.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been a really big 10, 15 years, I would say. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How do you think being part of all these different musical duos and bands has shaped you opposed to if you'd only been a solo musician?
Yeah, I think about this lots, actually, because it's funny. At the beginning, when I was just kind of playing solo and then sometimes as a duo as well, I feel like I was always like, man, I wish I had a band. I wish I had more people I could play with. But then I started doing that, and I learned like there's so much to appreciate about both projects. It's really special to be able to go on stage as a solo performer and just play your music. You don't have to worry about if you want to change something about that song on the fly, you can do that. You forget something, whatever. no worries. Keep going. Improvise. Do your own thing. And there's something really special and empowering about feeling comfortable in your own skin and not having anyone around you to pick up any sort of maybe errors or anything. Yeah, it's a really special thing to be able to do, playing on your own. And when I transitioned into playing with a full band, I kind of missed that piece, and I've maybe lost some confidence along the way. So I've been trying to like get myself into more opportunities where I'm playing more solo shows so that I can still feel confident in doing that alone, because I think it's a really special skill to have, and it's a different feeling than playing with a band, because playing with a band is so much fun. It's so great to play with people that you admire and appreciate. It makes you better as an artist. It pushes you, and it's fun being able to play with your friends. So I think it really, like, there's value in both. And for me anyways, it's really important to go back and forth and still work on skills in both settings.
Absolutely. I've seen you play solo, and I've seen you play with a band or in duos, and I think you do great at it all. I can never ever tell if you're ever nervous or anything like that.
Oh, thanks, Grace. Yeah, just know inside I'm shaking like a little leaf.
But then you get through it. And how does it feel when you get off stage and you feel like, I did that?
You know, usually it feels pretty incredible. Yeah, you can't really beat that feeling. Sometimes it's like, okay, my social battery is at -10, but I still have to talk to people, even though I kind of want to like hide away and go to sleep for like 4 days, because I'm like, okay, I'm anxious. I'm scared. But I'm a very good masker. So I feel like, yeah, most people wouldn't see that out front. But yeah, so after the show, I'm like, okay, I want to like hide away. Be alone.
Away from the world.
Yeah, exactly.
You do a great job hiding it. That is something I would like never think. I would never guess that. So a goal of ours at CFUR is to support independent musicians as much as we can. Do you think being a station manager here at CFUR has made you look or feel differently about being an independent musician?
Yeah, I would say no. I don't think so, because I already had that experience being an independent artist. So I would say it wouldn't, but I have learned so much about radio. So on the other side of it, like I didn't really know what I was getting myself into in this job in particular. Like I knew that was like the biggest, I guess, like the most important thing to me, being a part of a radio station, is I knew going into it that what I wanted to do most is uplift independent artists, because that's where my passion has always been, right? So I've always made that like a main focus, is what can we do to help our artists in our community? What can we do to support them and give them the tools to get their songs on the radio, and not just here at CFUR, but also share tips and tricks that I've learned as an independent artist, and then also working here at CFUR, the best ways to submit your music using Earshot Distro, things like that. So I would say that's always been like my main goal, is helping independent artists and focusing on how we can support our community better. But I've learned so much more in this job. I love my job so much. I feel so lucky and fortunate to work here. And my interests have like obviously brought in way beyond the sphere of just the music side of radio. But I love it all now. It's been such a great couple of years working here.
Totally. It's really cool to hear you explain all that and say that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your music. You have 2 albums released for him from 2017, I'm Not Who You Think I Am from 2021, and your latest EP, Why Am I Like This from 2024. How would you say your music has evolved from your first release to your most recent?
Yeah, the first release is honestly, it's hard for me to listen to because it has changed so much. That was almost 10 years ago that album was released, which is unbelievable to me. The time has gone by so fast. But I'm trying to approach it, and I'm trying to just approach it with listening to that first EP. To me, it's like it was a snapshot in time. And I have so much love for that person in 2017. And those are like my baby songs, the songs that, the first songs I ever wrote. So they hold a very special place in my heart. But it's hard as an artist to go back and listen to some of your previous work. But I think it's important to leave it out there for the world because, those songs, they are important, and they were very important to me at that time. But I feel like the music has changed so much over the past decade. I'm Not Who You Think I Am. I still play a lot of those songs today. I am really proud of that album, and it was it was a different experience for that one. We had a bunch of different players join in the studio, and it was kind of like the first little bit of COVID as well, where it was recorded. So it was a window where COVID kind of, I don't know, like the restrictions kind of let up a little bit slightly. It was recorded in August of 2020. So it was a unique time as well, and it felt like a big, like a sigh of fresh air. A little bit of a break from what was going on in the world at the moment. And I was like moving into a different house. There was a lot of changes happening in my life. And so I'm really proud of those songs. And I worked with Connor Pritchard. He recorded everything at Pulp City Music, and he also helped produce. And I hadn't really had a producer that was that invested yet. So that was kind of the first experience with that. And for the last EP, I worked with Connor again, and we continued, and he was even more involved in that EP and helped with some of the songwriting decisions and played some of the instruments. And it was a really, I feel like every time I get into the studio, it changes every time. And I'm really excited to get back in there again to record new music, hopefully soon.
I can't believe that it has almost been 10 years since the first album release for him. That is crazy. I remember when it first came out and how exciting it was. And
you played at it.
That's crazy that was 10 years ago.
I know.
My goodness.
Yeah, it was kind of, it's so funny, like looking back at it, like I organized that concert pretty much myself. Of course I had help from people, but for the most part, like I didn't have much experience at that time, like setting up my own shows. I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then like we got Danny involved, because I think Danny was working with the Omanika Art Center at that time and did sound and whatnot. But I had never ordered merch before. I had never ordered CDs before. It was just like a very like DIY project. But like I said, of course, there's tons of people around me that helped. You just ask for help, and I had some incredible support systems in place. I was very lucky. But it's funny looking back, like how like little thought I put into it. I was just like, yeah, let's do it. I want to make a CD. I want to make an album. And it's kind of cool. It's very like, and it still is DIY. I'm an independent artist, yes. But it's it's funny to look back at like younger me and just like, I don't think I was really thinking about anything. I was just like, sure.
Why not?
Yeah, let's do it. And it all worked out. And that's, sometimes it just does.
Yeah, even though like you say you had no idea what you're doing, it was packed in there. You did a great job. I thought it was still awesome.
I mean, I guess I kind of knew what I was doing. Like I was a music teacher at that time, and I put on a lot of concerts for my students. So yes, I knew like the skills that it took to do that, but never just for me, I guess. And I couldn't believe how many people showed up. Like it was packed in there. It was absolutely packed. And I just had no idea that that's how it was going to be. It's just like, I hope for the best. But yeah, it's really cool to look back. I have like little memories that pop up on my phone and of that time. And yeah, it's special.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cool to think about that evening and to go back and hear what you have to say about it. Like looking back on it, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
So moving on to a little bit of song exploration. For the first song, we're going to play Begging You. Okay. So keep listening.
Of snow on my front porch, cacti on the sill, waiting for summer, wondering where is the sun. Moody swings are depicting into my daily life. I am sinking. Was it really what you meant when you said that you've been thinking? Oh, what a burden to your routine. She needs more than you could be. Screaming at the sidewalks, erasing you from all her dreams. I'm not begging you to stay. It's been years since you felt this way. I'm not begging you to change. It's been years since you've dealt with the pain. Winning with these head games when everything was right as rain. There you were, like a stream filling up the seams. It's not your weapon of choice that is the problem. It's the way you bite your tongue. Carefully walking on fresh carpet, you can't erase what you've done. I've been sitting out on the sidelines, patiently biding my time, thinking I'm far from good enough.
At the time that your EP came out, I remember listening to your EP, and that song like related to me so much, like in that time of my life that you released that EP. I thought it was just like a very interesting coincidence that it came out at the time it did. But I think that song is really beautiful, and it creates a really safe space for people. And I'm curious what it's like from an artist perspective, sharing music that can be vulnerable or based on emotion.
Yeah, that song, it was I think it's my favorite song on the EP. And the reason why is because usually I will bring my song to my band and we'll kind of work out parts together, and they'll bring their own flavor into their own instruments and their parts to the song. But this one was done a little differently, like, because it is a very emotional song. It's very vulnerable, and it's I wouldn't say it's hard to do. I feel like sometimes I just need to do it. Like, it's a way for me to get my emotions out of me, and I don't I don't know how to like live without doing that. Like that's my outlet that's like my therapy is like writing and getting the songs out of me. That's a way of like releasing those emotions. So I wouldn't say it's difficult. It is always scary, like thinking maybe how people are going to interpret it. But I try to leave like enough ambiguity in the song that hopefully people can relate to it on their own way. So it's not super specific to just a situation that I'm talking about in my life. With that song, I was also trying to like put myself in someone else's shoes and not really sing through my own lens. But I feel like you're always in there and you're always kind of coming through in little glimmers. But yeah, that song was different because like I was saying, I will usually bring my song to the band and then they'll kind of formulate their own parts in the song. But that one I worked on after the first songs of the EP were already completed. So we came back. That was the last song we added. And Connor and I worked on that one together. And so it was a different experience. Like we built the song from the ground up and Connor played all of the instruments on the song. I think because of the different way that it was recorded, it comes through. It feels more like a vulnerable song because we approached it slightly differently. Yeah. And I think that's what I love about that song so much is the vulnerability that definitely shines through, or I can feel it anyways.
Absolutely. So what is this song actually written about?
It's not really written about one thing. I find myself writing songs about multiple different situations and about different interactions that I've had with people. It's not always personal to me. This one in particular, like I wouldn't say it's overly personal to me. It's about just like a feeling of, I don't need you to stay for me. I don't need you to stay in this situation, in this relationship, whatever it may be to you. I don't need you to stay for me. I need you to work on yourself. I need you to understand that, I understand that this person's been going through a lot and they need to work on themselves before they kind of hang on in this situation.
Yeah, totally. I like that. And one thing I was going to ask is kind of about the perspective that you wrote the song from, because one of the lines, "I'm not begging you to stay, it's been years since you felt this way," like sounded like it was coming from another person's perspective, which I was curious about. So
yeah, Connor's voice coming through, having that other perspective in there too, like having the double vocal. So it's definitely about two different sides. Yeah.
That's cool. I like that approach to the songwriting, whereas it would just be coming from your point of view. I think it's really cool that you took two sides of the story and combined them.
Yeah, thank you.
When you're writing, would you typically write a song during a certain emotion or after being able to reflect the way that you were feeling?
I find I don't know. I don't know when I am going to write a song. Every time I finish a song, I feel like, is that the last song I'm ever going to write? And I get a lot of anxiety over that because it actually feels like that every time. I'm like, well, I'm never doing that again. That was hard. I don't think I'll ever be able to do that again. So I feel like it's a very subconscious thing. Like I don't actively sit down to write. I let the songs come to me. And when they feel ready, they come out of me. Sometimes I feel like they're not even mine. Like I'm just like a vessel for these songs. So that's why sometimes sometimes they don't feel that personal to me in the moment. I feel like I don't know where these lyrics came from. I don't know who's telling me these things. But I often find when I reflect months later, when I sit down and actually listen to the song again, that's when I'm like, okay, that totally makes sense. That was a completely subconscious thing. I was going through that in the moment, and now I can like honestly analyze the song and maybe bring that to a therapist or something and be like, this is how I'm feeling. But yeah, so I find it's not really based on an emotion that I know of at the time, but later I'm like, okay, that's what was going on. Mm-hmm. It's like a big aha moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. And so when you do sit down to write a song, it's something that just kind of happens, like you just get the urge to write a song rather than being like, okay, this is the time I'm going to sit here and write a song.
Yeah, I've found in all of my earlier years of songwriting, that's how it was. I would never actively sit down and write songs. And whenever I tried to do that, it would never happen. So I would just let them come to me. But the last couple of years, I've found that happens less and less. And I think that's because the busier you get, the less creative time, the less creative space that you have to actually let your creative mind wander. And I think that's a big thing that I've learned over the last couple of years is if you don't leave time for you to be bored, being bored is such a beautiful thing. If you don't leave time for that in your day, in your week, make time to do nothing and be bored and think of get those creative juices flowing, like it's never going to happen. So I've found because my life is so busy currently, I'm in just like with work and everything. I've found that doesn't happen as much. Like the songs aren't coming to me. It has recently, and I've had glimmers of that, which is really exciting. But because of that, I've put myself in different songwriting courses that force me to actually sit down and you have a deadline. You have to write a song by the next week. So I have been learning how to actively songwrite. And those songs are so different. They're so different when you're putting in the time to be like, oh, what would that transition sound like? So it's kind of like a maturity there. And I think that makes sense. Like, what a beautiful thing. Younger people, I find there's so much less judgment on yourself and you're just much more confident, I find, for myself anyways. And I feel like I've kind of like, I gradually lose that as I get a little older. I start thinking more. I'm overthinking everything. Whereas when I was younger, it's like not overthinking at all. I'm just doing it. I'm just like, here I am. So it's been like a journey to try to get back to that kind of free-spirited person so that these songs can just come out. That's a long-winded answer. But
No, that was awesome. And your latest EP that you released, I thought was like, I thought it was very admirable how much emotion and like how much of you went into it. So it's like so interesting to hear you say that because like I noticed it the most in your latest EP, like just like how I can imagine how challenging it would be to share those kinds of things with the world, but it's very admirable.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And that leads us into our next song for song exploration, I Feel Everything.
Something about you makes me feel small. The little things you do don't feel so little at all. Why do you want me to change the way I am? This hold you got on me, will it last eternally? Something about you really makes me tick. I'm hanging on your every mood. I imagine my whole vibe to you. I'm craving all the things, the way you move your energy. Little things I hate to need.
I Feel Everything is a big and powerful song. What does this song mean to you?
I wrote it right before I was about to play a set at Smithers Brewing, like a couple days before. And I was feeling like a little self-conscious and being like, am I the right fit for this like loud space? Like I'm an acoustic player, but I've played a lot of bars and whatnot as a solo artist back in the day. And I was playing this solo show and I was like, I need like a grittier song. I need something that's like a little gritty and I don't know, more like rocky, meaner sounding song. And that's what came out. I just like, it literally like flew off the page, off my fingertips, and I wrote it very quickly. And I played it at Smithers Brewing, and it felt really good. But yeah, the song, it means, to me, it's like, you are making me feel a certain way, and I'm not okay with it. But it's also not on that other person for making me feel that way. I'm reacting to how they're making me feel, right? So it's up to me to like change that perspective and just not take it, fight back. And hey, you can't make me feel small. Yeah, it's about a lot of things, but that's kind of like the general. It's also like it's an internal battle with like imposter syndrome and lots of different things.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a powerful song, and it's different from the rest of your songs. It's a lot of like, it's fun, and it's I feel like it's getting a point across, and I like that. When you were writing the song, did you know what you wanted the melody behind the lyrics to be? Like, I feel like the instrumental part of the song is also what adds so much power to the song. Was like that intentional, or did it come along with the song?
Yeah, I think building that song with my band was where all of the extra fun energy came from. Like, without the band, that song is very different. It still is. It just has a different vibe to it altogether. It's still a lot of fun to play, but I think the band just brings in so much energy to it. It's so much fun to play, and it's also like it's a pretty slow song. Like when you really break it down, it's like the BPM, I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's very slow, but it hits. It hits so, yeah.
Yeah, it really does, especially when it gets to the chorus. It's like a wave of, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. But.
It's supposed to be like an explosion of different emotions, and that's kind of the entire EP is really about like different social anxiety and struggles with my mental health that I had been going through and still navigate to this day. And that's kind of what that entire song encapsulates, is just like all of those different feelings that I've felt, and I'm sure a lot of other people have felt too.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're performing these songs live, how does it feel like opposed to recording them in a studio and recording?
Yeah, it feels different for sure. Like, I want to stay true to the recordings as much as possible, but you might not have all of the same players there. You might not have all the same instruments. Like, we don't always play with keys live. So it has, it's definitely different. But I think a lot of these songs, it's about, like, the lyrics are very important to me. So I think just like keeping that melody and keeping the lyrics being like the main focus coming through, that's what kind of keeps it being, as similar to the recordings as we can. But I work with a lot of incredible bandmates. Like, I'm really lucky. So it's normally pretty close to the recorded version. Yeah, I'm lucky. There's some really talented people that I get to work with. I'm very, very fortunate.
Totally. Yeah. You guys all do great. Whenever I hear you play together, you guys sound amazing.
Thank you.
You kind of already touched a little bit on how it feels to listen back to like the very first album that you released. But do you ever find that maybe songs mean something different to you now, like listening back than when you were writing?
Yeah, totally. Like I said, when I look back at songs that I've written, that's usually when I can tell what the song's actually about. It takes a while for them to actually simmer and like percolate a little bit for me to really understand the meaning of them. But the meaning can shift for sure. I feel like these songs in particular, they aren't that old yet. So I feel like the meaning it's pretty much the same for me, but they can, especially like the oldest songs that I've written, I can look at it through a now more adult person, a little bit older person into, it's definitely a different perspective.
So if you feel comfortable asking, in the short interviews on your Instagram, which I thought was really cool, by the way,
Thanks.
that you did like little interviews of each song on your latest EP. In the little interview about I Feel Everything, you said it was a buildup of emotion and feeling so much all at once, like the feeling like it's about to explode. And I'm curious if this song was written about a specific instance or time in your life, or if it was written about more than one time and feeling the emotions of many past experiences all at once.
Yeah, I would say the latter for sure. Like, it's wasn't one particular moment, but yeah, I would say a lot of different things, and just feeling like not good enough in my own skin, or feeling like preconceived notions about people judging me, and just nasty things that I was just like ticked off about.
Yeah.
But also more than that too. Like I was saying, it's an internal battle as well. And if you watch the music video, that kind of comes through. It's like, I look at that music video as like, it's inside of my brain. And there's all of these things that are happening, and different characters, but like maybe those are all just me doing all of these different things, being all these different characters. But I think everyone can listen to it and hopefully take their own interpretation of it and what it means to them.
Cool. I like what you said about the music video. It's a cool way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think those are feelings that a lot of people deal with. And it's a hard feeling to have all those, like, thinking that people are having all these misconceptions of you, and then like the thing within too. It's a lot to feel all at once.
Totally. But at the end of it, it's like maybe no one has those feelings. Maybe it's just me, and I'm just like being too self-critical and overthinking things and thinking that these people feel a certain way, but really it's just like, maybe that's how I feel about myself. It's like I don't know. It's a messy brain up in here. Yeah.
Totally. And it's like, it's hard to think about it all at once. It's too much.
Yeah.
I love that you wrote a song about it though. So just a few more questions to end off this episode of Northern Static Series. What emotions do you find toughest to capture in a song?
Happiness. Yeah. Happiness for sure. I find I've never really wrote a song about being happy. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's always like sad or angry emotions that bleed out, that want to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I would love to focus more on writing, happier music. Because even if the song appears happy, if you really listen to the lyrics of my work anyways, like there is an undertone of something going on there. But I like to kind of disguise it in like happier, upbeat music sometimes. Try to.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like moments of happiness sometimes only last a few seconds, and then it's a distant memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. To end off this episode of the Northern Static series, what is it about music that keeps you coming back?
I think it's because I have to. Like, I don't feel like it's something that I could just like put on the shelf and walk away from. Like it feels like it's such a big part of me. It feels so important for me to just keep doing it because I love it so much. Yeah, I wouldn't say there's like one particular thing other than the fact that I love music. I love it so much, and I don't ever want to stop doing it.
That's awesome. Well, I'm excited to continue seeing what the future brings, and more music and happy songs, if that's what you decide to write.
Thank you.
Thank you, Genevieve, for taking the time to film this episode of the Northern Static series. We appreciate you and all you do through music.
Thank you, Grace.
You're most welcome. And stay tuned for a few acoustic songs performed by Genevieve live in our studio.
My river rock's taken. Who are all these folks? Climbing out of houses as the last snow melts, ignoring that the world's clearly dying while you're out skipping rocks. What a day to be alive. Been talking shit for months, finally have given in. Cog in your machine. Well, I'm giving in to simplicity, walking in to my new life. We lost another good one. Timeless tunes ringing through. Slight distractions. Spiderwebs like fishing line catching bugs. Glove on the branch, reaching for hands. First day of sun and I'm overdressed. Pine trees and smoke is all I know. Tried to leave but my roots grew out of control. Timeless tunes ringing through. Slight distractions, do you feel used? Timeless tunes ringing through. Slight distractions. Slight distractions. An itch that sticks, a pain that's numb. Our stories buried when we were young. Did you ever see the dancing skies? You left the north with salty eyes. Timeless tunes ringing through. Slight distractions, do you feel
Okay, here we go. Dark side of the winter, empty city. What's your agenda? Lonely little airport eyes staring back when I said goodbye. Just know I had my reasons. Life has a funny way of saying things you couldn't say. Right where I wasn't where I was supposed to be. I can't write your story, so whatever you decide to do, that's fine by me. Just as long as you tell the truth in this city of lies and dirty fights. If it's the last thing you do, you just try, 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 try. Oh, try. Timing's everything. But what if I am always late? If I'd have got myself together, well, maybe I'd have stayed. Spend a little time, wander with me, explore the feeling of being free. Life has a funny way of saying things you couldn't say. I can't write your story, so whatever you decide to do, that's fine by me. Just as long as you tell the truth in this city of lies and dirty fights. If it's the last thing you do, you just try, 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 try. I've been here before, different answers, closing doors, stationary reasons, stubborn actions, fading feelings, city of lies and dirty divides. If it's the last thing you do, you just try, 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 try. Try, 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 try. Oh, try.
Two, three.
Crunchy steps of snow on my front porch, cacti on the sill, waiting for summer, wondering where is the sun. Moody swings are depicting into my daily life. I am sinking. Was it really what you meant when you said that you've been thinking? Oh, what a burden to your routine. She needs more than you could be. Screaming from the sidewalks, erasing you from all her dreams. schemes when everything was right as rain. There you were, like a stream filling up the seams. It's not your weapon of choice that is the problem, it's the way you bite your tongue. Carefully walking on fresh carpet, you can't erase what you've done. I've been sitting out on the sidelines, patiently biding my time, thinking I'm far from